I wanted to bring Mike in because Michael Pelka works for the Blaze, and he's on a story that has actually come from a 912 group in Texas, right?
Yes. Last night we were contacted by a 912 group, and they're Tea Partiers too, who were saying that there's a big issue in Texas, and it started with their notification that the Boston Tea Party is being taught in the schools as an act of terrorism. And they're using this in a history class to show that the early American heroes that we call the people that started the revolution are terrorists and should be discussed as such.
Right.
Right. I mean, look what they did.
Right?
They threw tea over the side of a boat.
They were terrorists.
If that's not terrorism, I don't know what is.
Go ahead and read the part. Do you have it in front of you?
I gave it to you. My copy's there. It's kind of surprising when you look at the
right. It's quite amazing. Local militia, believed to be a terrorist organization, attacked the property of private citizens today at a port. Although no one was injured in the attack, quite a large quantity of merchandise considered to be valuable to its owners and loathsome to the perpetrators were destroyed. The terrorists, dressed as natives and apparently intoxicated, were able to escape into the night with the help of local citizens who harbor these fugitives and conceal their identity from the authorities. It's believed the terrorist attack was a response to the policies enacted by the occupying country's government.
And if you read the lesson instruction, it tells the teacher to read that as if it is a news report that just happened close to their town.
Then divide the students into groups and discuss this news report. Give the students a few minutes to discuss who they think the terrorist group is and what location this might be. Solicit from the student who they think the terrorist organization is and its location. Write the responses. Give each group the handout, vocabulary exercise, and have them recreate the handout on a chart paper. Vocabulary, terrorism, terrorist group, terrorist profile, crusader, criminal, crazies, weapons of mass destruction, PLO, Hamas, Taliban, Osama bin Laden, Revolutionary Armed Forces, the Red Brigade, Earth Liberation Front.
Do you see that this is a great way to teach our kids that the founding fathers are no different than terrorists of today? They're no different.
Right. There's no difference
thing.
Between the terrorists of Hamas and the Earth Liberation Front.
Unbelievable.
And the American Revolution.
They've even painted England in the wrong light there because they were not an occupying country. This was their country.
No. They came over and took it from the natives.
Well, that's true. I guess if you look at it from the native perspective.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what they are. This is an occupying country. Okay, so this is Texas curriculum.
Yes, this is part of a curriculum that's in 19 of the 20 school districts that were carved up back in 1965 when they were setting up media centers in order to help schools that didn't have a lot of money, the underprivileged schools. So now it's gotten up to $25 million in funding per year that goes to developing these curriculums. And we started looking at the different curriculums. I'm delving into them this morning and this afternoon. There are curriculums on religion, on the environment.
No, they're not just religion. This is a Islam concept map that I have here, and it teaches all about the Islamic world and the Islamic faith, including the 5 pillars of Islam, blah, blah, blah. And then the questions that you want to ask the kids is, does this sound similar to Christianity? If so, how? Why do references about mercy seem against what we are seeing in reports from our occupation in Iraq or reports in events in Iran or Israel? I mean, it is incredible. Now, here's the amazing thing. Now, you're working on a big expose for the Blaze on this?
Yes.
Release this on Monday, Mike. Don't put this out over the holidays.
Okay.
Release this on Monday. I mean, you can put parts of it, but finish it for Monday, because I want to make sure we do a big deal on this when we get back. The amazing thing is this is called C-Scope. And I have here in my hand, this is how many pages is this? 10?
That's 10 pages, the NDA?
Yeah. This is a non-disclosure that the teachers have to sign that forces them to not share any of this information with anyone.
Right.
So there's no textbooks or anything. And by the way, introduction to the environment, the keywords, vocabulary, environmental awareness, environmental action, and sustainability. That's Agenda 21. All of this is Agenda 21. All of it. All of it.
We have reached out to the guy who put together the NDA and who is the head of all the 20 districts, and he has yet to respond to us. And we hope to get at least some sort of clarity on the issues.
Do we know who is paying for this? What groups are behind C-Scope?
Well, they're saying it's a nonprofit, and they do get funds from educational funding through the state, but not directed from federal or specific education funds. It's very murky turf. So we're trying to push it all aside.
I'm very concerned about Texas. Very concerned about Texas. If we lose Texas, we lose the country. We do.
Well, the parents have been standing up and trying to request access, but they are, as you read earlier, they're told they have to go through what's called the parent portal. And if you go into the parent portal, it is dumbed down and vague to the point where none of the things you just read would show up in that portal. And
how did somebody did somebody violate their NDA to get this to us?
Yes. Someone has violated the NDA. We're hoping to get a password to get full access to the site, but there apparently could be legal implications if that happens. But we're trying to get an open door policy. And from what we heard, Rick Perry wasn't even aware of how deep this ran. Because one of the people...
get this ready for me. I'll get this to Rick Perry. I'll just call Rick up and say, do you know about this?
Well, I'll get you as much as I can. It's coming in fast and furious right now. But I wanted to give you one more interesting...
If you know anything about... Hang on. Give me your email address. If you know anything about C-Scope, the Texas Education Service Center Curriculum Collaborative, is this in other states?
I don't believe so. I think it's primarily in Texas. They do have this
is dangerous stuff that's being taught.
They're trying to broaden it out. So you can't really tell.
Okay, if you know anything about it, please email
M. Opelka at The Blaze, MOPELKA at theblaze.com.
Okay. One other thing.
When you look at the Middle East, look at the question about the key understandings, and they're trying to say, and they do say here, Israel has been described as an armed camp. Why is this description commonly applied to Israel? The Middle East chapter will raise the hairs on the back of your neck.
This is what's being taught in your schools. This is why you can actually have an impact. You can, because it is local. And if we grab control of local, we win. It's a longer battle, but they are infecting our children. They've already done it, and we've already lost 18 to 29-year-olds. They're gone. They're gone. We cannot afford to lose another day on the next generation. Not another day. Find out if your school is using C-Scope in Texas. The Blaze will continue to report.